and today we are finally going to complete our React.js, and hook-based React.js is a thing which we are going to complete. And then I'm also going to give you all the playlists which you should learn and we should do and to become a React.js developer. And all jobs are for React.js only. I always say if there are 10 jobs, 7 jobs are in React.js. So I want all of you to become a React.js developer, and I am there to help you guys. So today is the main means it is the third, as I always say, this is 3 weeks of intensive learning to become a web app developer. Today is the final day of the third week. The fourth week is always, as I say, is am I live? Am I live? Okay, so I think I'm live. Sometime today in the streaming, some issues were happening. Okay, so I want all of you to become a React.js developer. Today is the final day, but as I've told, so these 3 weeks we have gone through everything: CSS, JavaScript, ES6. Not today, React.js is the last day, and after that you have to do a lot of projects. You have to do a lot of HTML, CSS projects. You have to do a lot of JavaScript projects. You have to do a lot of React projects, especially to get that dream job and apply it on LinkedIn. So you even don't need to be in any of my boot camp, paid boot camp or something. If you want to do it on yourself, I will be more than happy to help you, but I have limited time. So means if you ping me on WhatsApp or somewhere, it might get delayed, but yeah, I'm there to help you out all to become a web app developer. As I always say, first become a React.js developer, then give me your resume, then give me your LinkedIn profile, then I can help you very easily. If you're a React.js developer, anyways, you even don't have to ask me for help. Those who know what is there, they know what I'm saying. Means if you have even just React.js in your LinkedIn profile, you'll get hundreds of jobs. But it should not be fake. It should be real. Okay. So as always, let me type something. Okay. Today is a 5 Today you will get the final attendance. So attendance will be given at the end. Okay. As always, attendance will be given at the end. So let me share my screen. Share my screen too. Because this is something which we created yesterday, and we will move ahead from there. Okay. So we are not going to do that anymore. So what we are going to do now, and this GitHub also is there in yesterday's videos. Also the GitHub is there, and today's videos also the GitHub will be there, and both of them are same GitHub anyways. So today we are going to do the last thing with use effect, and this is the most important thing with the use effect. This is how means most of the front end code will work. If you are going to learn something in React.js, learn this thing. Learn what is a use effect hook with for how it is used to do the data fetching, because that is how you are going to connect with the backend. Okay, so for that, first thing which we need to do is to install the Axios. I could have done it with fetch API, but I want to show how to do it with Axios. So I think npm is running here, npm start is running here, so better I'll do it here. I don't like PowerShell, so I will do git bash. And nowadays I'm not even liking Windows. Maybe soon I will get a Mac. This is very, very slow. Install Axios. Npm install Axios I'll do. And okay. So let it get installed, and let me close this all. Let me close this all. Let me create a file. Let it be done. And it is done. And we'll do a create a file, data fetching.js, data fetching.js, and here RAFCE, because we are doing hooks and it's a functional thing. Okay, so this is there. Then after this, okay, const post comma set post equal to use state, and like this. Okay. So again we are going to use that famous JSON placeholder. So JSON placeholder, and we're going to do this normal thing, post only. We are going to go raw data. Okay, raw data, it is coming array of objects, it will come. So we're going to hit this API endpoint. And how we are going to do it through, because here we do it through use effect, because we have to do it through like component did mount. We do the API call through component did mount. So here we have to do it through use effect. Okay, so let us do that. And for that, what I'm going to do, so why I'm taking it as an array, post as an array, because I'm getting an array back. I'm getting an array back. So that's why I'm doing that. So this is very much annoying. So let me change it back to change it to this data fetching. Save it now. Okay, so now nothing will come. Okay, use state is not defined. What the famous error? Okay, use effect is done. Then we do it through use effect. So let us do the API call through use effect, because use effect only we do the async thing. Okay, async thing like API call and all, we have to do the use effect. So today this thing is the most important thing in React, as I told earlier also. This is where the front end is connecting with the back end, and that is what React is made for, connecting from the back end. If we had created a static site in React.js, we could have done it with HTML, CSS, JavaScript also pretty much easily. But a scalable site is made through React only. Okay, so that is there. And Axios dot get. Axios is much more easy than fetch API. We've seen in fetch API we have to generally do two times. One that await even we are using, or then catch block we are using. Then we do it two times. But here we don't have to do it two times. Okay, one time only is sufficient. So Axios dot get I'll do, and here. Okay, used it. Did I save? Didn't save it. I might have not saved it. It's okay. I'll save it soon. So this I'll get. Okay, post, and then I have to do and response, and let me do console log and response. Console log and response, and I will have a catch now. Catch error is log error. Okay, close it. So like this I'm going to have, and now what I'm going to have, I'm going to call it, okay, call it unordered list. So we'll have this post array, which we have post array dot map, and I can do post like this, and li post dot title, what is happening, post dot title, good morning, good evening, post dot title, and li is key equal to post dot id. Okay, so this I have done, post dot id, because id will come from here. Okay, that is done. And then namaskar all. So this is done, and we have to, let us see whether it is coming in the console or not. Okay, again something is not there. I have to import it also. Use effect also importing. So let me open the console, and component. Okay, so it is coming actually here. So it is use effect is what use effect is defined. Yeah, use effect is it is earlier error. Let me refresh it again. So this is coming, and I'm getting all the thing. Okay, in data. So it is rest.data. All the API data will come. This array of object will come. Okay, so what to do? So let us get it here, and we are going to do the thing set post is actually response dot data, because here also the data is there. So data is the array of object which we require. So response dot data I will do. Okay, and hopefully I will get it. So let me go back here, cut it, and save it. I got the data, but see, an infinite loop has started. If you can see this is an infinite loop which is going on. An infinite loop is going on. Why infinite loop is going on? Because I've just used the use effect, and each time it do the set post, it is refiring it again and again and again. So this is getting refired again and again. So infinite loop has been created, and this, because we have done a mistake, we have to run the use effect in a component did mount way. And how to do the use effect in component did mount way? We have to go here and comma, and this I have to do, and use effect and do, and it is component did mount way. This is the component did mount way. Use effect in a component did mount way. Okay, so now I'll save it. Now I'll clear it, and now I'll refresh it. See, only once it is done. So this is how it is done. This is how most of the API in the world you are going to fetch. Component did mount way is the run only once. Component did mount way means, we have seen it earlier also, it will run only once. So this is how the get APIs you will do in React. And this piece of code is the most important code in React, because this piece of code will connect your front end to the back end. And as a front end developer, we need to understand this much code only. So this is by default, this is the most important code in React. Functional component means everything else you can forget. If you know these things, if you know how to do a API call, when I used to take interviews, I've taken more than 2000 interviews. This was the thing which I used to give the candidates, to do an API call to an endpoint and get the data. And people don't even know how to do this thing. Okay, so this is the thing which you need to know in React, the main thing. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to go a bit further. Okay, so let us create another data fetching to data fetching to JS. FCE is done, and okay, let me import both of these things, or else it will again give me error. Okay, both of these things are done, and okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to, there is another endpoint is there. Okay, so that endpoint is a single endpoint. So if I do this, it gives me a single data. So there is a single endpoint also, 1 2 3 4, all these things are there. So we are going to hit that endpoint and see how to hit that endpoint. Okay, so we're going to see that. So again, for that, we are going to have some states first. So const post comma set post equal to use state, like this, and const id comma set id equal to use state 1. So this I'm taking it as an object, because see, here also it comes as an object. So always this thing we have to take as the, as how we get the data from the API endpoint. It is not necessary, but if you do it like this, you have to write less code, or else you have to do something known as we call it in the industry as data massaging, because data, you have to change the data and all. So you should always get the data, uh, uh, make the use state as the data you're getting. So here we were getting an array, so I made it array. Here I'm getting an object, so I have made it an object. Okay, set id, and id and set id will do, and it is the use state. Okay, so that is done. Now again I have to use the use effect. Okay, so let me do one thing, let me copy this thing, not to waste time, but it will be different, of course. So first thing is that it is having id. We are going to have some id here. So I don't want to be like this, and I want it to be having a template string. I want to use, then id, and there is no set post, it is actually post, because it is singular, because I am getting a single post. So I've only done this set post restore data. And one more thing is there. See, I want it to run in the component did mount way, and also when the id is been changed. So we have seen this thing, means this thing earlier also, and this is a part of conditional use effect. We have seen this earlier. It's a conditional use effect. Okay, so when this state will be changed, then also it will be run. Why I am doing this? Because of this, because here I'm going to have an input box also. Okay, I'm going to have a input also. Input type text, value is id. So I am taking this value as id. On change event is set id e dot target dot value is done. Okay, and div is post dot title is there. Post dot title is there. So that is there. So because again this post will have this title and all. Okay, so save it, and then let us have this data fetching to data fetching to data fetching to data fetching to save it. And if I go back, yeah, so one, see, by default one is there, so that's why I put the one, so that the first post is coming. Okay, then I will do two is coming, and do three is coming, then I will do 56 is coming. So this is like this. So the moment I do this, the API call has been done. So we have learned a lot of user, rest of them you can check it out. So use effect with Axios we have done, and this is one of a very good way to do it. And you can use fetch API also. Only one statement you have to do more. You don't have to learn means much about that. But in React, we have that npm modules are already there. So why not install that small npm module of Axios, which is much better than fetch. Okay, so I have not shown the post API, so you can search that post on your own. Post is much better and much easier to do with your Axios than to do it with fetch. Okay, so post is much more easier to do. So check post means how to post. Take the data from the user in a form and post it. Okay, so that you can check it out on your own. Okay, so let us go further, and further we are done with the main hooks. So there are only two main hooks, as I told earlier: use state and use effect. But there are two other hooks also which are used a lot, especially the use context hook is used a lot. So we will learn about that. Although we have seen the context hook in class based also, here also we are going to see, and we are going to face the same problem. And but we are going to have the first solution is the same. The second solution is with use context hook, which is much easier than the other solution which we have seen in the class based thing. Okay, so we are going to start now, and let us do that. Okay, so again, as I've told earlier, means we will have the same issue here also. From a component A, app component, I have to pass some data to component C. So between that A and B are there, but I have to forcibly pass the data through them. Even though they don't need the data, I have to pass the data through them, which is an issue. Suppose there are 100 components in between them, then I have to pass the data through 100 components. So we use two solutions to solve this problem. One is the context API, one is Redux. So Redux, nowadays context API is getting much popularity, and in our personal projects also I'm using a lot context API. But Redux is still there. A lot of projects you'll use Redux, and bigger projects still someone prefer Redux. So it depends upon your architect what he chooses. So if he chooses Redux, you have to use Redux. That's why Redux you need to understand. Redux have also become very much easier. Redux is not like a very difficult thing. Okay, so that is there, and this is we are going to learn context API, but a lot of people use context API also in a lot of places instead of Redux, and yeah, you can use that. So now again we are going to see the same kind of a issue. So child will be the parent and a grandparent will be there. So let us create all of them. So I'll go here and component child.js. Okay, then RAFCE child. Let's have this child. H1 child component, save it, then parent.js, RAFCE, and here it will call the child. Here it will call the child. Save it. Next will be grandparent. Grandparent.js and RAFCE, and will be calling the parent. Will be calling the parent. Grandparent will be calling the parent, and finally the grandparent will be called from our app.js. App.js will call the grandparent. Now we will create the context. So in the class-based scenario, I have created context in a different file. So we can create it in a different file also, but we can create in the same file also. It doesn't matter where we create. And see, child component has been shown because grandparent is going to the parent, the parent is going to the child. Okay, so that is there. So now we have to create a context. Here only we are going to create. Okay, so export const user context equal to react dot create context. I'm going to do. Okay, react, not like this. See, we have to import react also. Nowadays it doesn't come by default in app. I am import react. From react we have to do save it. So this is a user context is created with the react function, and this is same in the class based approach also. So we have not changed this thing, we have not touched that thing. Okay, so as in there also we have a provider, will have a consumer. So provider we have to wrap it in the grandparent. So user context dot provider, we don't need to have something complicated like this. Maybe John will get passed, and we don't need to pass John like this. We can pass John like this also, and like this. User context dot provider, and the value. So value is actually keyword. We have to do the value only. So provider, and whatever we pass, it is sort of a props thing, but it will not go through this. Okay, so that is done. Then directly in the child we have to consume it. Okay, so in the child we are going to consume it. So we'll come back and we'll first see that render process pattern, which is actually very complicated. It's complicates those everything. Okay, so we're going to see that first. Import, and we'll do the user context from app. Okay, like this, and like so. Then we have to do user context dot consumer. We have to wrap this thing in the user context dot consumer to have it available, our props to be available. So that's why it is not that much easy to get the props kind of a thing. Gets the data. It's not called as props. But here I can give any name. So what I'm going to give, I'm going to give the user here, and then like this. Then maybe h1 child component. Yeah. And I'm getting the user data, and user is this is John. So let me go back here. Child component John is coming perfect, and we are having the render process pattern, which is a bit complicated because we have to wrap everything which is consumer and then have this all these curly brackets. Okay, so let us not complicate thing much further. So this complication we have not seen in the earlier way, but when we're doing the class based thing, we have not seen that complicated things. But now I'm going to see the more complicated thing. So how the more complicated thing I'm going to see what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass another value now. Okay, I'm going to pass another value now. So how to pass another value? To pass another value we have to do like this, and channel context I'm going to do react.create context is there. Okay, channel context react.create context, and then again I have to wrap this grandparent with the channel context. Okay, so let us do that. Channel context dot provider and value equal to the web dev. Okay, this grandparent I will wrap it also here. Okay, save it, and now I am passing the value the web dev, my channel name. If you are not subscribed, please do subscribe again. Subscribe, and if you have subscribed, please do subscribe from your parents titles. I need people to help me grow this channel, and it will be really helpful. Okay, so if you like my content, please do subscribe with everyone else's ideas also. Okay, that is done. So user context and channel context I'll do. The channel context like this I'll do. Now how to get that channel context data means how to get this the web dev data. So here what the problem is, they again have to wrap everything. So let me show the problem here. Okay, so first thing is that I will actually remove this thing because it will get more complicated now. Okay, so after this user I'll have to have another return here. Okay, return here like this, again another return. Okay, then I have to have this channel context dot consumer wrapping everything out, wrapping everything out, channel context dot consumer. Okay, then I will have this channel. Okay, okay. See, even I'm getting confused how many brackets are there. Okay, then okay, this is the equal number of brackets. Sometimes it auto suggest anything. Okay, so now this channel is done. Okay, or any name you can take. Okay, so now I will have to come here and return. See, I'm also going so slow because this is very complicated code. Okay, so like this, now I will have both of those things. Okay, h1 child component and user, and h2 is channel like this. Save it. Child component user and channel is like this. This done. Now see, now let me go back. Yeah, the web dev is also coming, but with so much complicated code. The web dev is coming. First I have to do this user context, wrap the user context, then I have to use this user, then I have to use this channel context, then I have to use this channel. Because of that, people used to run away from context API, but not anymore, because in the class based also we have solved that issue. We have seen how we have solved that issue, but here also we have solved that issue. But how did we solve that issue? Again with the use context hook, which is actually very powerful. So let us use that value in parent. Let us use those both of the value in parent, because parent is also coming after grandparent, as we know. So here there is another hook. That hook is known as use context hook. Use context hook. Okay, use context hook. And this thing anyways we have to take. So I'll go here and paste it out. It will be like this. And now how to use it? Okay, first thing is that this I'll do like this and like this, and we'll have our child component back. Okay, so now we just have to do const user equal to use context user context, and const channel equal to use context channel context. Okay, so these two things are done, and okay, these two things are done. Now here I'll come and h1, let me write use context user channel is there. Both of these things I've done. See, so let us first see whether the data is coming or not. Yeah, it is coming. See, it is so much simpler than this code which is there. We just have to, and this is also not this, you can do anything, channel and user, but this is like this. Okay. So this is like this, user context and channel context we have to do, and then we can use it directly. So this is much more simpler than this code which we are having. So this was having all these things, all this nonsense thing. It is having nothing. So this is 100 times simpler than that, and that's the reason context API have become so much powerful and so much used and loved today's for all this complex data passing in React, because all this data passing. So nowadays you will see every big project using context API mainly. But yeah, as I've always told, class-based component are also there and Redux is also there. So you have to learn the Redux. And previous month I've done the Redux thing. So if you want to learn that Redux, you can go through my Redux tutorials. Okay, so that is there. And now we are, hope you like this thing. Okay, so okay, so let me do one more thing. Let me give the attendance here today. Okay, okay, mark your attendance here. Mark your attendance here, final day attendance, to get your nice certificate. Most probably I will give tomorrow, by tomorrow, and I will promote all of the people who got the React certificate on Sunday. I generally do it on Sunday, so it will be very helpful for you, because to first thing, to get a React certificate itself from a company is a very big deal, because React is not that much easy, and you have and all those things. So you'll get a nice participation certificate, and on top of it, I will promote you on to my LinkedIn 18,000 followers. Okay, all of the people who will get this certificate on Sunday, because I generally do this promotion on Sunday. Because tomorrow I have a really big day, because tomorrow I have the weekly web development workshop, which is my prime thing of this channel, because a lot of people attend that web development program. People from different walk of life attend. Anyone, means from mechanical engineer to HR to teachers, to everyone attend, because this is for absolute beginners, teaching them HTML, CSS, JavaScript, starting point in the web development career. Okay, so now we are going to learn about hooks. Hooks are also there, used a lot, because in React we don't have access to DOM, and sometimes we require access to DOM, because DOM is today also 10 times more powerful than hooks. React, not hooks, React, because it has got far more feature than what React provides us. So sometimes we need access to those things, and for that reason we use hooks. So let's get started. And okay, so here, let me comment them out only, because you should see them. Okay, so I'll just comment them out, and I will create a focus input.js, focus input.js. Okay, again we have a very good hook known as useRef hook. But the create ref from class base is also very easy, means it is almost similar, which you're going to see. Okay, focus input, yes, save it. So that is done. Let us come back here, and we'll do, okay, const input ref equal to use ref null. We are going to do, so this is how we do the use ref. And let me bring it on. Use ref is there and null is there, and then use effect. So again we are going to call this use effect. So there is something known as input focus, so we are going to do that focus, which is not available in the React. So we'll do that, and input ref dot current dot focus, and this use effect should be called when the component is mount. Means the component did mount way. So whenever this component has been loaded, I will have this. Okay, so and inside this div I will have input input and ref is input ref and type is text, and go. Focus input is not defined. Oh, save it. Use effect is not defined. I don't know, I have forget all these things. Use effect is not defined, so it is done. See, by default the focus is coming. If I refresh it also, see, by default this blinking thing, this is known as focus, and this is something which by default doesn't come. This focus thing by default it doesn't come. Okay, and this is coming because of this. We have created a ref. Okay, anyways, without this itself will not come. Okay, because this input is also because of this ref only, or else we have to do the state way. The state way which I have told, stay value on change, all those things we have to do. Okay, but this blinking thing means by default the focus is coming. The focus is coming because of the input ref only, so that is there. Okay, so this is something. But now we are going to see another ref example, means another thing why refs are very useful, why refs are required. We see another thing. Okay, so for this what we are going to do, we are again going to start with a class based thing, and then we are going to see why it is required, why refs are sometimes required, uh, references are sometimes required, especially in a functional component. So let us do something. The class-based component have one very good feature. We are going to soon learn about that. Okay. So I will have a class timer dot js, class timer dot js I will have, and this is the class based. Okay, RCC class based component, and here export default class timer is there, default class timer. Then our const is there. Then this dot state timer of 0. A timer we are going to get a timer of 0, and then here let me have it inside this div only. Or okay, class timer is this dot state dot timer, but this dot state dot timer is there. Then we are creating a timer thing. Okay, timer we are going to create class timer. Let me take it here only. Class timer, class timer, class timer, class timer. Save it. Then this done. Then we are going to have a component did mount. We are going to have, okay, in the component did mount, I'm going to have this dot interval. I'm going to have an interval, and what it will do, it will update the timer. Okay, it will update the timer. Okay, there is a set interval thing. So set interval is like set timeout, but set timeout only runs once. Set interval runs after whatever millisecond you are going to give. Okay, this is the way you create a countdown timer also in React. Okay, so I will have this dot set state, and this I will make as priv state, because I need the previous state. Why? Because the state is going to change at a very rapid pace. So when we state is getting changed at a very rapid pace, I have shown that earlier also, that we need this previous state, or else it doesn't work in React. Okay, so state is getting changed every 1 second. Okay, so that's why. Okay, so that is there, and then we are going to have timer is priv state dot timer plus 1 is there, and then okay, I am also confused how many are there. Okay, think to play 1000. Still are not with the right number of brackets. Okay, this is there, and this you have to call like this. Okay, then this dot we have one bracket less actually. This one is not ending here. Now we are right. So under this brackets also, so it was giving me error. Okay, so this dot interval I have done, but I want to clear this interval also. Okay, so I'll do component will unmount and clear interval this dot interval. So we have like this dot interval also. Clear interval is also there, which is calling this dot interval. Okay, so that is done, and if I save it, see the timer is running 1 2 3 4 all this. So now we also want to stop the timer. Okay, so we also want to stop the timer, so let us do that. Let us have me do this here. Let me have h1 in it, and I will have a button actually after this button and clear timer. So how to clear a timer? See, when component was unmounting, the clear timer will be run, but we are not unmounting the component right now. So how to clear the timer? So clear the timer will have on click equal to like this, and we'll just directly call the clear interval this dot interval clear interval and this dot interval I'm going to do. Okay, and the clear timer will be done. Save it, and hope this will work. So this is there, 1 2 3 4 is coming. Clear timer, it is not clear timer, it is stop timer. Stop timer is working fine. So everything is working fine here. So why I have shown this? Okay, so this thing is there. So now we will try to convert it into a hook timer. So let us convert it into a hook timer. So that was the reason I shown it. So hook timer, I'll go hook timer.js. Okay, RAFCE. Then here let us have all those things here also, and let us see whether it is working. So we are going to convert it. So for converting it, the first thing is that we require a state const timer comma set timer equal to use state of 0 like this, use state like this, and use effect const interval. See why I'm taking const interval, because we don't have this in a functional component, so I have to take some other thing also only. So we never have this keyword in a functional component because this is there in a class based only, so I don't have access to this. So forcibly I have to do a const interval equal to set interval. Okay, so let me do it proper way now, because or else it will again give me error. And set timer previous state plus one, and it will run after every 1 second it will run. So I hope everything is run, everything is okay. And we'll even do this component will unmount code also I'm going to give. So how I'm going to give the component will unmount code, we have seen how to give it. Okay, and this will be in the component did mount way. So that is done, and we'll have to have this component will unmount code with the return. So return, so we have seen this in the earlier class, return and clear interval and only interval, because this is a function. So this is done. Save it, and then here it will be h1 hook timer and timer like this. Save it, copy it, save it, go here, and the hook timer is running fine, no issue is there. But as with the class timer, what we did here, we created a button to clear the clear or stop the interval to, and we need to call this clear interval. Okay, so we will try to do that now. Button stop hook timer, stop hook timer on click equal to clear interval, and not timer, it is interval I have to give because we are clearing this thing. And what I missed this. Save it. Hopefully this will work. But the moment I do this, I'm getting this big error. Interval is not defined, and this error is really fine. Why? Because what is interval? Interval is actually not defined. Interval was a constant which was defined here, and when we use const or let or anything, its scope is in that thing only. So its scope, interval scope, is from here till here. So we are using interval here and we are using interval here, but interval is no way it is here. So but when we were using the class time, what it was there, we are using this dot interval. So this is sort of a var thing, so but it is better than var. So I can use it here, I can use it here, I can use it here, I can use it anywhere through this program. I can use it, but here I don't have access to that. So how to solve this is, so how to have a variable which I have access to throughout the program. So this is where the use ref hooks come into picture. So we have to create a use ref, because use ref is something which have a DOM level access, so we can access that from anywhere now after that. So we'll have const interval ref equal to use ref. Don't have to give a null, use ref like this, and then as okay, where is my hook? Focus input. See, always in a hook, in a reference, we use something known as current. So current is a way to access that current element in, or the DOM level element. So here also interval ref. So here we have input ref dot current. So here I have taken. So this name can be anything. So interval ref. Instead of this const ref, what I'm going to do, interval ref dot current. I'm going to save and change everywhere to have this interval ref dot current, interval ref dot current, save it. Now I'll go back. Now use ref is not defined, save it, use ref is defined. So it is working fine, and I can stop it also. So this is the use of use ref. And with this, actually we have come to an end of our React series complete. I've taught everything from class based to functional, everything I've taught. But the thing is that I'm not taught projects, because I have a lot of projects on my side. So what are the projects which you need to do? So one sec. Okay, so the projects, whereas I, okay, one sec. Okay, so the projects which you need to do are, let me give, and after this what you should do, you should do Redux also. See, I have told that context API is very good, but you should do Redux also in my view, because Redux is still used in a lot of places. It is not like if someone say, okay, class base is not used, maybe it is not used, but Redux is still used in a lot of places. So after this, what are your tasks to do? After this, your tasks are this playlist. If you want, you can ping me on some LinkedIn and all, I'll give you the complete playlist. But after this React, you need to learn. I've given that playlist. You need to learn Redux from my side. Complete whole week I've given to Redux. Okay, so I think everything is coming or not, I don't know. So if it's not coming, you can ping me ping me somewhere else. I'll give. I think everything is not coming. Okay, okay, okay. So maybe first you know Redux, then you have to do React project, then you have to do Firebase project. Okay, everything is not coming in a perfect way, so let me give it one by one. So first thing you have to do is, I think it is not coming, okay, because I am not able to see there. So first thing is do Redux. Now it will come, I think. Yeah, now it should come. First thing is Redux, followed by React projects, and then you showcase these React projects on your LinkedIn, and please do tag me. If you're doing it from the channel, please do tag me. And React, even not from the channel, okay, you know, do this. Then you do React Firebase projects, which are a bit more advanced than this React projects, React Firebase projects. And then you do the MERN projects. So MERN is very easy. If you know React, the Node.js part is actually very easy. You'll see that. And then you do this MERN project from the channel, and this is how you become a web app developer. Do these things: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all those playlists you have, and do some JavaScript projects and all those projects, some CSS projects also. And after that, do React and follow this thing. After that, do Redux, then React project, then React Fabric project, then do one project. If you're from an IT background, it will take you 3 months from today. And if you're from non-IT background, it will take you around 6 months, maybe because you have to understand something. You have to watch the videos sometime repeatedly, then only you will understand. So this is what I want you to do. This is how you will become a web app developer. This is how you will become a highly paid web app developer. And do these things, put them on your LinkedIn, because if you want to do it on your own, and then you have to heavily rely on LinkedIn and other social media platforms, but LinkedIn is the main. And if you want to do, if you do 100 days of challenge also, I'll give you that interview which I have just recently given with a very big American website. I know the people there. Just do 100 days of coding challenge, and I will try to have that. Okay. So with this, I will end today's stream. Hope you like this React.js series, and this aspire you to become a web app developer. And if you become a web app developer, if you learn React.js, please do ping me. I will help you. Just have a very good portfolio, having around 5 to 10 React.js project, some of the MERN projects, some of the projects which I've given here, especially some Firebase projects, some MERN projects, and you will get a job. That is my surety. You'll get a job. No one can stop you from getting a job. Okay. With this, I will end today's stream. Thank you all. I will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. IST. Please do spread this thing that tomorrow I'm going to have that weekly web development workshop, which is very, very useful for anyone to get into web development. Thank you, and I will see you all tomorrow at 3 p.m. IST.